Foster English. Today we're going to be talking about the simple past tense. The simple past tense serves two functions in English. One of them is grammatical, which is its primary function. This is how it is used in terms of a sentence, what its job is or what information it is telling you. The second is kind of administrative, and we'll get to that in a moment. First, how, when, why would I use the simple past tense? The simple past tense is also called the storytelling tense. If you think about it, most of what we communicate in English involves the past, because the past is what we can talk about or what we can communicate most clearly and most accurately. At least in terms of our individual perspectives sometimes, but the past has already happened, and we can have the most assurance that what we talk about when we talk about the past is going to be accurate or true. So the simple past communicates that an entire action is finished, it's completed, and it's in the past. We have other tenses that will communicate duration. The simple past does not communicate any duration. It's just this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. That makes the simple past tense not only one of the most common, but also kind of the easiest of ways to express ideas, because you have a little bit more accuracy, hopefully, as long as you're being honest, and you can talk about complete actions, and you can just list them in sequence. So, for example, I could tell a very brief but boring story of today I woke up, I made coffee, I got ready to go out, I went out to the store, I bought some food, I came home. Now, it happens that I'm using a lot of verbs, hopefully you know them, but all of these verbs are irregular verbs. And it's amazing that I can tell a story and use almost entirely irregular verbs, right? So what is a regular verb and what is an irregular verb? This is the administrative task of the simple past tense. The simple past tense is the tense that defines whether or not a verb is regular or irregular. And if you play it back, I can't even remember myself exactly what I said, but I know I said I woke up, I got ready, I made coffee. All of these are irregular because they do not end in ed. Now, made ends in de, don't get it confused, it has to be in that order, ed. If a verb ends in ed, those two letters, in the simple past tense, then that is a regular verb. If a verb ends in any other letters or any other combination of those letters, it is not regular. It is irregular. And there's really no way to give you all of, well, apart from lists, which you can find online, I'm not going to go and give you all of the irregular verbs. Just know that there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are very commonly used. They seem quite regular. But this is the way that that term is defined. A regular verb will end in ed in the simple past tense. Irregular verbs will not. So that's the simple past tense in a nutshell. Remember, the simple past tense has two jobs. The first is to tell you that an action is completed and it is in the past. The second is to tell you whether or not a verb is regular or irregular. Regular verbs end in ed in the simple past tense. Irregular verbs do not. Stay tuned. Next video will be on the simple present tense, which may not be as simple as you think.